Capricorn, welcome to you. This is your tarot reading for August, coming from the mountains of Java. I really hope that you get something from this and that you find it useful. Indeed, I sincerely do. Capricorn, just looking at this reading, I can't say that it looks a joyous reading. There are some signs of hope in it, for sure. Look to that middle card. That's the energy that runs through it all. Queen of Cups, Queen of Hearts, you could say. I wonder if you're being taken advantage of because there's some things that aren't so good, and maybe you're learning a lesson to not be so giving. Maybe that's what it's about. Look to the bottom right hand side and we have the Hierophant. I normally see that as you following a formal religion. This is the recent past. Could be taking a sort of conservative attitude on things. Current energy is the Three of Swords. That's a broken heart. We don't know that it's about love. It could well be. Your future energy is the Tower. An unwelcome and an abrupt ending to things. The energy impacting on the outcome is the Two of Cups. That's a new love. That's a new love. Okay, I'll come back to that. The thing that would change everything, change the outcome, is the King of Swords. That could be you getting information. You may be beginning to understand yourself better, to understand that maybe I don't like to word too soft, but you don't set enough boundaries. Because the outcome is the Death card, again sudden abrupt endings, which fits in very much with the Tower. So let me tell you how it's feeling right now. It's feeling, and I don't know what this religion is, but it's feeling like you're a very loving person. You had a love, and that ended, and you find a new love, and that ends. And I think the universe is trying to tell you, set more boundaries, don't be quite as loving if you don't want to get hurt. I mean, if you don't mind being hurt, it doesn't matter, does it? But there is a broken heart there, so I think you don't like it. Now, Capricorn, if this is having some resonance with you, please listen to the rest because we'll go in much greater detail and try and unpack it. But if I can ask you to subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications, hit the like button for this particular video and pass a comment. It helps me greatly to grow this channel. Thank you, Capricorn. Thank you so much. You may well be asking, why from Java? What's important about tarot from Java? And the truth is, there is nothing so important about tarot from Java. Simply that here in Java, we have many different spirits who will come to help in your tarot reading. It'll probably put a different reflection on things. For example, the spirits here are less likely to be concerned about love and finances, despite people in Java being every bit as interested in these things as the rest of us. But maybe the spirits are trying to tell us something else. Now I'll be using probably 2 decks, but out of 3 decks. So the first deck is Tarot Nusantara. The second deck is the Steampunk deck. And the third deck is the Light Visions Tarot. Tarot Nusantara is actually a new one to me, which I love. Whereas the Light Visions, I've struggled with as a result of the rendering. although I think I'll grow into it, I will keep using it and coming back to it. You can see on all of them I'm using quite a lot of salt, and that's to clear the energy and the spirits from them, something that I do fairly regularly with my tarot. And I also, you'll see a number of Jimat there that I use just to bring a good energy to the tarot and to my reading. Perhaps the most important mystical object we use in Java is the kris, the curly knife that you can see that I've placed across both decks. Kris are very important for bringing the spirits to work on any object here in Java. I call on spirits of the mountains to assist me in shuffling these cards, in selecting the correct cards and interpreting them for Capricorn for August 2022. So the first card, the Queen of Cups. Now this is the energy that runs throughout it all, and I think this is telling us something about you. Queen of Cups is a very loving, very compassionate person, very intuitive person also. But I do believe she gets taken advantage of. People see her compassion as weakness and do attempt to take advantage of that. I mean, you look at the card, she's sitting there on a throne, which looks lovely. She's dressed beautifully. She looks a lovely queen, doesn't she? But she's sitting on the beach by the seashore, holding love out. Is she trying to prevent the tides coming in like King Canute, or is she simply watching them going out? Either way, I'd suggest it's a somewhat dangerous activity, whatever she's doing. And I think there is a message there for you, and I think this is a message that runs throughout it. I think it is that you're just that little bit too sensitive, a little bit too compassionate, a little bit too loving. And the next card, which is your current energy, is the Hierophant card. Now, I normally interpret this as formal religion. You sort of learning about a formal religion, exploring a formal religion. I use the word formal religion because it's not like spirituality. It's something with a structure. So that structure could be some other sort of thing that you're learning about. A sort of a conservative way of doing things. Yeah. I think it could be religion, though. You know, you look at this card. I mean, they're ecumenical, and it does look ecumenical, but they're sitting down there learning from the guru, aren't they? They're learning from the guru. You'll probably it doesn't seem to fit the rest of the cards, so you'll probably understand this better than me. It's in the past. It's in the past, Capricorn. So as I say, I think you'll understand it better than me. What I'm getting from it, and I may be completely wrong on this, is that you're a member of a religious community. That sounds like the Moonies or some sect. I don't necessarily mean that. But you're a member of a religious group or, community. And you found love there. That's what it feels like. I may be wrong. Your current energy is the Three of Swords, and well, look at the card. It's a broken heart. It's pretty obvious it's a broken heart. Three swords going through a heart. Is this about love? Now, there is an indication later on which makes me think it is about love, but it doesn't have to be. You may have fallen out of love with this religious path that you were following. It could be that. But as I say, later on, there is an indication that this could all be about love. So, I mean, it could be that you met somebody in this religious community and fell in love with them. But it doesn't look as though it lasts. What I would say to you is that it's only a 3, it's a minor arcana. It doesn't necessarily last. And you're probably shouting at me saying it's all right him saying that. He's not experienced it. But when I was at university, I met somebody who I was very much in love with. We lived together quite a bit. And we only weren't living together all the time because we were establishing our careers in different parts of the world. But in the end, she finished with me. And it probably took me some 30 years to get over it. So I'm not trying to make light of it. But what I am saying is it doesn't have to last. It doesn't have to last. It's an attitude of your mind. And one of the reasons why I think something didn't last is we now have a tower moment in the future. And now the tower is almost like your entire world tumbling down. It's unforeseen, it's unexpected, and it's unwelcome. And now there's another tarot reader who I've got a lot of time for, and he always sees this as positive because he sees it as is the universe creating this to beckon in something new for you. Because when a tower moment occurs, all you can do is rebuild. And of course, you look at the card, well, yeah, it's been struck by lightning, the tower's come down, they're falling out of the tower. It looks pretty bleak, but of course, the tower can be rebuilt, and I think that's the important point to remember. Now, one of the reasons why I think your broken heart is about love or a relationship is that the energy impacting on the outcome, which isn't necessarily chronological to the tower, in fact the tower is the future and this is more likely to be current, is the 2 of Cups, which is a new and divine love. Now, when I saw this spread at first, I thought we're talking about 2 loves here, that you lost a love and you found another. I'm not too certain that's how I should interpret it. We might be talking of the same love here. And you look at them, they're exchanging cups, which is love. Is that an angel above their heads? Could well be. There's something very divine about it. There's something very lovely about it. However, the outcome isn't a good outcome. So, indeed, the outcome is similar to a tower moment. So it looks as though this love, whether it be a new love, well, it is a new love, but whether it's the same love or not, it doesn't last. Now, the energy which would change or nullify the outcome is the King of Swords. He's a very clever king. I wonder if this is about you getting some information, you learning something, maybe learning something about this love. It could also be about boundaries and setting boundaries. I've got the feeling it's more about some information coming to you, though. That's how I feel. He's a very wise king indeed. You look at him sitting there on his throne with that sword up. You wouldn't mess with him, actually, would you? So it could be about boundaries. Could be. I've got the impression it's some information coming to light for you. You using your wisdom. That's how I feel it is. The outcome is the death card, so there's no sugarcoating it. I mean, it's very much like the Tower. Sudden, abrupt and unwelcome endings, complete changes. Now, I think this is the end to the relationship that we're talking about in a 2 of Cups, and maybe previously. You look at the card, well, there's the Angel of Death on his horse with a scythe, cutting through, cutting down the people. But you could see that man, the old man, standing there and preventing him. And behind his head is a Hindu temple. So it is saying to me there's hope. It's also, I think, a little bit like the Tower card. It's as though this had to happen so that you could change and rebuild your life. So it's not necessarily as bad as it might seem. Let's get some clarity, however. Now, I could seek clarity on the Death card, but because we know the Tower is in the future, I think first of all you have the ending, and then you have the Tower, which is everything changing. So if we can get clarity on the Tower, then I think we'll learn a lot from it. And so the first card of clarity is the Seven of Wands. That's you having a very clear direction and moving quite quickly in that direction. I wonder if that's related to the Hierophant, what I saw as being formal religion. And the next card we have is another Tower, which is saying, why are you asking for clarification? We already told you it was a Tower moment, and it is. And then the final card is the World card, which does say that your world is going to change, and almost certainly for the better. So the first card is the Eight of Wands, and I'm sorry I described it as a Seven of Wands. It's an Eight of Wands. It doesn't change what I said about it, I just got the number wrong, that's all. It's about a sense of direction, about having your ducks in a row and moving very quickly in that direction. Very unified sense of direction. You look at it, well, it's firing out those wands. They're all in parallel, all going towards a target and moving quickly. Fast-paced. Have you rushed something a little? And that's caused this Tower moment. Did you rush the love? That's an interesting concept, isn't it? That you rushed that love. Or was this sense of direction a direction in terms of religion? It could be. But it appears that this is, whatever it is going to be shattered. Because it's confirming a Tower moment, isn't it? So we do have indications throughout this that it's about love, but then I keep coming back to that religion. I somehow feel they're intertwined, but I don't quite know how. So now we have a Tower being confirmed by another Tower. So this is saying, we really did mean a Tower. Why are you asking for confirmation? So, yeah, it's abrupt, sudden change. All you can do is rebuild your life. Now, as I say, I'm not too certain if we're talking about religion or romance or both. Look at the card, it's not that different. There aren't people falling out of it, but it's struck by lightning. Maybe you shouldn't have built it up there. I don't know. But you're going to need to rebuild things, that's for sure. And me seeing the Tower as potentially positive is confirmed here, because now we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is suggesting an end of a cycle and a new cycle beginning. It's normally associated with luck. So, I'd see it as a very positive card. Sorry, I call it Wheel of Fortune. It's the World card, not the Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, it's the world's at your fingertips. You're literally going to rebuild things, and you're going to have luck with it. And it's also suggesting that this is karmic, or at least being sent because it's in your best interests. So as I keep saying, all you can do is rebuild your life. But hopefully you've learned something from this. I think that's what we should take from this. And I think now we're in a position to summarise for you. Capricorn, this is a very interesting reading. On the face of it, it's not great, but I think it's about an important lesson, and I think there really is tremendous hope here. I think the truth is that you're you're a little bit of a soft touch to people. You're somebody that seeks love, you're somebody that wants to be in love, something of a romantic fool. And people I suspect do take advantage of you. Now in your past, we have what looks to be formal religion. And currently you have a broken heart. Now, something comes to an end. And I've got the feeling that religion is intertwined with love. Now, it could be simply your love of religion and you fall out of love with religion. But I don't think it is. I think the two are very much interlinked. Indeed, I think probably you met somebody, or you met somebody through religion. But it does definitely come to an end. It comes to an end, and it's a bitter and an abrupt ending. And this is going to last, this ending. It's not something you get over quickly. You might get over the broken heart quite quickly, however. There definitely is a new love here. And I can't understand whether it's the same love that you're getting over a broken heart from, or it's love on the rebound. It could be either. Although the love of the broken heart could be to do with you falling out of love with religion. So there needn't necessarily be two loves here, but I think in all likelihood there are, and I think in all likelihood they are linked to the religious community or religious group that you belong to. And yet, they're going to end abruptly. Now, the way for this, maybe, I'm not too certain to stop it from ending as much as to make it less abrupt, less painful, would be for you to explore your subconscious, to explore what you know about the situation, to use your intelligence, both emotional and logical intelligence. Maybe you also need to set boundaries, because remember I've said that I think you might be something of a soft touch. And now I don't think you do these things in August. You might do because if it's there. But I think that is what the universe wants you to learn. And the universe certainly seems to want you to learn something in this reading. And I think it's an important lesson. An important lesson on life. As we've said, that I think you sort of rushed into this love. Rushed in without thinking. And maybe it's just saying you need to think a little bit more. Yeah, maybe just use your feelings and your brain a little bit more about things before you fall head over heels. Maybe that's it. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed Tarot from Java as an addition to my channel, The Magic of Java. Please take a look at the other videos that I have on this channel about magic from Java, and I hope that you will become a subscriber. Now, if you want to hear your next tarot reading, hit the button, and that will inform you of when I publish new readings. I'm certainly going to do a reading for every month, but maybe I will try them a bit more frequently, say a mid-month reading, and maybe also some special readings. But above all, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you, and enjoy Java.